you have to communicate. Communicate in such a way where love seeks to understand before seeking to be understood. And you've probably heard this said before, but it's true. Because when you're making these lists and when you're communicating and when you're wanting to go deeper in your marriage, I don't even just mean fixing problems. I mean, we all want a deeper relationship with God. I think we should want the same things for our marriage, a deeper relationship with our spouse, a relationship that more deeply reflects Christ within both of us toward the world as a testimony to the world of Christ within us. I don't want to just preach ought to, but think about that. When you're going through these lists, are you just disseminating information and expectations, or are you seeking to understand where your spouse is? And it takes communication. It takes communication to sit down and actually talk, not at each other, with each other. If any of you have your spouse say back to you, "You're not hearing me." If they're telling you, "You're not hearing me," you're not hearing them. When seeking to understand before seeking to understood, don't let yourself slip into judgment. Judgment in function toward one another can be when you assume to know someone else's motives, when you assume to know why they are doing what they are doing. And a lot of times, especially marriages that go on for a while, and we continually hurt each other, we get to a place that's like, well, you're doing that because you don't love me, but you never say it. And you may never even address what they're doing that causes you to feel disrespected or unloved. Communicate. Say communicate. Communicate. That's rule number one, and it absolutely has to be. But judgment creeps in when we feel like that we've said the same thing to our spouse over and over and over and over and over, nothing changes. You got to break through that and get down to where you're honoring this connection that God says that you have, that you are in spiritually with one another, and communicate your way through that. And so you ask questions. And I don't mean questions like, did you mean to be a jerk when you said that to me? It's more like, you said this, made me feel this way. What did you mean? Or did you mean to make me feel that way? Now, and the response shouldn't be, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. If you own it, hopefully it's, gosh, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. Now, it is not your responsibility to make your spouse feel a certain way other than correcting if it's been miscommunicated. Did you follow me in that? So if you're continually doing something and you just don't understand it, you'd be surprised. I've sat in my office with lots of couples, and when they start talking, 10 years have gone by, and they'll say things to each other, and they're surprised that well, I didn't know you felt that way. Well, I tried to tell you. If you are one with this person, if you are to love one another to the degree to which Christ loves us, put forth the effort to dig through all that stuff. Man, we let so much stuff get built up between us that we don't take the time to go in there and do the surgery that it takes to go deep and figure these things out and communicate with one another. Man, if that is your oneness, if this person has been united to you, if you're married, man, you owe it to each other to go there. You owe it to yourself. I dare say you owe it to God to go there, to clean that junk up and get the stuff out of the way and deal with it and be honest. Not hurtful, not spiteful, although when you're honest, it might hurt, but you got to be honest.